Oh, am I on? Oh, geez, I'm on here. Here. Oh, hello there. Hey, two teenagers, apparently they were promised that they would not do a nude scene in a movie. Well, they did a nude scene, and now they're suing the movie theater. We'll talk about that, right? Also, a Michigan Supreme Court justice hires a convicted felon to be a law clerk. They do that? We've got that and more coming up next on The Verdict.
All right.
Look who's here. Can we say Happy New Year? Because I haven't seen Charlie
Charlie,
yet.
would you like to have a Happy New Year?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Merry
Christmas,
There you go.
Charlie. It's been a while.
I saw you. I saw
Happy
you on television.
Thanksgiving, Charlie.
Valentine's Day's coming up, not too far away. So we got all kinds
You
of
try and do a nice greeting, and you just get
very
blocked.
Charlie, good to see you.
nice.
I
Yeah.
would go with
I'm
that.
glad
Good
to
to see
be
you,
here.
man.
You
Good
have
to
been
see you.
out in the elements.
Yeah, a little raining on me, so I'm
Is it
kind of
rain
running
or
around.
snow out there?
rain?
This
Yeah.
guy's calling it snow.
Well, I've been
said-
saying a
we said
mix.
precip.
I've been
I
saying
said mix.
precip.
Oh. Yeah.
Mixed precip.
Well, I had
What
some of
was
that
it?
precip on me earlier.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Trying to figure it all out there.
Okay, so lots to get to. First of all, Michigan Supreme Court Justice sparking some controversy because of a hire.
Yeah, she just took the bench January 1st. Justice Kyra Harris Bolden. She's from
Yeah.
Southfield, former state representative, now Supreme Court Justice. There she is right there. She hires, one of the first orders of business is to hire a law clerk. And she does. And she hires a law clerk by the name of Pete Martell. Okay, he's a convicted felon. Spent 14 years in prison for armed robbery. And during the mix, he shot at police officers at some point in time, but he was convicted of armed robbery. He got out in 2008, went to law school. He now teaches at the University of Michigan, redeemed his life.
I have zero problem with this.
Yeah,
What's
me
the
too.
problem here?
I don't see a problem either.
One of her colleagues, Justice Richard Bernstein, reportedly told the Detroit News that he does not like the fact that there is a convicted felon on the court being a law clerk. Law clerks have a lot of discretion.
Is
They
it
might have
illegal,
opinions.
Charlie?
It's not illegal.
Then
In
who
fact,
cares what he likes?
Well, that's why there are 7 justices, and they all
Yeah.
have different opinions.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
But it is a little controversial, though, when you have a convicted felon, 14 years in prison. But isn't this the poster child of redemption in a way? I
Yeah.
mean, you change your life around, you can be
Yes.
on the
And,
Supreme Court.
and not
Yes.
only that, but shouldn't lawyers and judges, shouldn't they understand the whole idea of going through the legal system and doing your time and coming out the other
Learning,
side? Yeah,
using
they know
it
it
for
better than
good.
anybody.
So
I talked to the justice earlier, Justice Bolden, and I said, well, what about, suppose he was convicted of murder, second-degree murder, or manslaughter. Suppose he killed someone. Would that change? That's the response I kind of got.
I don't know. Would it? I don't know.
Would it? I don't think it would.
I don't think so
if
either.
he redeemed
If he
himself,
redeemed himself.
paid his debt to
Served his
society, as
time.
they say.
And then he's serving society as a lawyer and teaching people. I mean, he's really paying it forward.
Is the concern that as a law clerk, he's got access to some sort of legal material that he could do something?
Yeah, I think the
Nefarious
concern.
with?
Well, I think the concern is that a lot of cases come before the Supreme Court regarding police officers, and maybe if he doesn't have a good relationship or didn't. This is 30 years ago. This crime, by
Yeah.
the way. Maybe there'd be some impropriety there. So I think that's the controversy.
On
But
the contrary, I feel like it's an amazing story of a guy who made some pretty big mistakes, served his
Yeah.
time, and then turned his life around, went
Did
to
good.
law school,
Did good, yeah.
and got a job teaching.
Yeah.
Where is he teaching?
University of Michigan.
Yeah, teaching at the University of
He's in
Michigan.
graduate
Yeah.
school there. I don't know this guy, Pete Martell, but I'd like to meet him, and
Yeah.
maybe I'll give him a call today, and maybe
Handle
we can
his business.
talk.
Yeah, Pete
Outside of
Martell.
Justice Bernstein, has anybody else expressed any kind of
Not that I know of, but the story just kind of broke today. So
We'll
law
see.
clerk is pretty important.
Could he
A lot
lose
of
his job
discretion.
because of this?
I don't. I don't
Is
think
it at will? Like if she decides she doesn't want him, once she gets in the court.
Oh yeah. You work for the justice. I mean, as I understand it, you're an employee at will. You serve
Yeah.
at the pleasure of the justice.
Okay.
But this guy was actually in the class of the former chief justice, and the former chief justice says he's a great worker. He's a good
Recommended him.
writer.
Yeah.
That's what you want in an employee
Yes.
anyway.
Yeah.
Besides the fact that you're a law clerk. So I understand maybe somebody would, eyebrows would be raised on a 14 years in prison convicted felon, and now you're a law clerk for a Supreme Court justice. But I think he redeemed himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and talk about knowing both sides of the law.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's got a wealth of perspective.
Well, there you go. There's a
Right?
whole bunch of
stuff.
potential law clerks in prison right now.
But you don't know. I mean,
never know.
Potential law clerks in law school too.
And,
Yeah, just saying.
And-
Just thought I'd throw that
the
out
other
there.
way too.
Yeah,
They
the other
keep
way
going the
is
other
true
way,
too. Yeah, the
I
other
think
way
that's
too.
happened more.
behind every sinner
That's
is a
right.
saint, and
There you go.
in front of
Yeah.
every saint is a sinner.
There we go. show.
Charlie, okay, we're gonna go to break now. You want to take a break?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go to break now and then come back.
Talk about that Hollywood case next?
Oh, yeah, let's do
Oh,
that.
good,
Yeah.
good. Yeah, we'll talk about
Yeah.
that next.
Okay,
Be right
good.
back.
Good.
Welcome back, everybody. Here's an intriguing story. So the film was made in 1968, Romeo and Juliet, and now the two stars are suing Paramount over a nude scene they shot when they were teenagers. So let's break this
We're
down
not
a
showing
little
the
bit.
nude scene, are we?
We're not going to show it.
Oh,
but
no.
It was, and for kids who saw this movie in high school, it
Back
was
in the
kind
70s,
of
80s?
shocking. Yeah, they showed this in some high schools in 70s, 80s, and there was bare butt shown.
Bare bottoms, yeah.
And I believe her chest is shown at some point.
Really?
I believe that's part of it. So now these two actors are saying they were 15 and 16 at the time.
Yep, they were told that they didn't have to do nudity. They were going to have some body doubles or body thing, but then
They
at
told the
last,
director,
Francis Zeffirelli.
Zeffirelli.
last 2 days of the shoot, the director says, no, we want to do it this way with body makeup, and they did it under pressure and duress. So
So
this is 54
They're
years
saying-
later.
this is 54 years later.
They say they suffered mental anguish and emotional distress in the 55 years since the film's release, and they've lost out on job opportunities.
And I could see that because in 68, nobody was doing that, and you do that, and people might not hire you.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah, but that's 68. It's 2022.
I understand, but there are people who have had cases where it's what do you call it?
Statute of
Statute
limitations.
of limitations, and also it was like cases of drugging women, and
So-
they were able to do it with years later.
So let's break this down as to what kind of lawsuit that is. We have two types of lawsuits, criminal and civil.
Okay.
This is a civil case for money. And normally on civil cases, there is a statute of limitations, meaning you can't wait forever to bring a lawsuit. And normally it's 3 years, as far as I know. Now, if you're a minor, you can go up to, I believe it's 18 and then 3 years after that, or 1 year after that. It just depends. But the bottom line, these actors are 50 plus years old. This happened 55 years ago. I don't know how they're going to beat the statute of limitations defense. I don't know how they're going to do it. I'd like to see it. I haven't
So
seen
you're
it. please,
saying,
but
and I only use Cosby as an example. Some of those cases that Cosby went through, they were years prior,
but some of those were criminal cases on Cosby.
and that's the difference.
That's the difference. Now, again, they're on the civil cases, you have to bring it within a certain period of time. We know that for sure. And this is a civil case. Criminal cases, though, like there's no statute of limitations, like murder and criminal sexual conduct, rape, first degree. No statute of limitations. But being nude in a movie,
I'm
is a
confused
civil
by
case.
what does the law say though about teenagers? So
yes.
being naked, because
I thought it was 18.
There's movies. Well,
But they're not big. But so,
aren't there movies that we've seen, maybe not current in the?
What was that Brooke Shields movie where she was a teenager?
Yeah.
Blue Lagoon.
Blue Lagoon. Yeah, I mean, we've seen. She was a teen when she did that movie.
Or some of the like Porky's or some of those.
Yeah, some of the other ones. I mean,
80s
there's
movies.
Yeah, but-
Isn't
but
there teenage nudity in those?
Probably, but I don't know that that's a crime. Now, again, let's not. I mean, there's a criminal and there's civil. I would think if
So in
you
other
have
words, these people are not. They're
suing
saying
this has nothing to do with criminal.
$500 million.
Emotional
They want
anguish.
much.
$500 million, they say, is what the movie made in its lifetime. It's
And that's what they want,
and that's what
$500
they
million.
want.
Well, I have a problem with that. The other, and again, I don't know their contract, maybe there's but again, contract violations only about 6 years statute of limitations. Nothing is 50 years.
But can
50 plus years.
I'm sorry to jump in again. Can the director's passed? The studio, does the same people even still own the studio?
Probably
does any of
not.
that matter?
Yeah, I think it does matter. But I think on the merits of the case, I don't know how they're going to get by the statute of limitations. You've got to bring a lawsuit within a certain period of time.
There is another issue here, Charlie, and this is according to Variety magazine. In 2018 interview, the actress who played Juliet,
Olivia, is it Housey?
yeah, she defended the nude scene. She said, nobody my age had done that before. It was needed for the film. And she said it was common in European, it was taboo in America, but that it was very common in European films.
That is absolutely true.
So
Absolutely.
even worse
That's
for her.
interview from now I'm not saying that she's not allowed to change her mind.
Right.
But
Interesting.
But even worse for her to
Yeah.
bring this lawsuit. I
Right.
don't know the idea. And I also question the damages too. You need two things in a lawsuit. You got to bring it on time. And then your damages. I know she suffered emotional distress, but I'm not sure about that.
Right.
I don't know about that. I mean, 50 years later, you didn't do anything. You didn't work for 50 years. I would say there's a lot of things happen in your life.
It was nominated,
Yeah.
by the way, the film was a hit and nominated for
Multiple.
4
Yeah.
Academy Awards.
Academy Awards, yeah.
So I don't
It
know
was big
how,
back then.
how would their careers suffer because of that?
Even though it was nominated for Academy Awards, doesn't mean you got work
Do
after.
they get royalties after? I don't know the answer.
Royalties continue for
They
the life
continue.
of the project.
So if
they
they
go
make a-
less and less every year, but they do make the money.
I don't
So
know if they
if
had
this
that
is-
kind
If
of
they
deal,
had the-
though.
yeah,
I
If
don't
they
know
had that
they're
deal
If
back
they
in
had that
68,
deal, they were
yeah,
teenagers.
if they had that deal in
Well,
68.
maybe that's the
They
problem.
were 15 and 16. They were probably.
Let her rip tonight, Charlie.
Let It Rip tonight. Yes, we'll do it 10:30. It's going to be good. Let It Rip tonight. You don't want to miss it.